रसानां छन्दसामपि मङ्गलानां च कर्तारौ वन्दे वाणी विनायकौ भवानी शङ्करौ वन्दे श्रद्धा विश्वासरूपिणौ याभ्यां विना न पश्यन्ति सिद्धा स्वान्तस्थमीश्वरम् वन्दे बोधमयं नित्यं गुरुं शङ्कररूपिणम् यमाश्रितो हि वक्रोऽपि चन्द्र सर्वत्र वन्द्यते सीतारामगुणग्राम पुण्यारण्यविहारिणौ वन्दे विशुद्धविज्ञानौ कवीश्वरकपीश्वरौ उद्भवस्थितिसंहार कारिणीं क्लेशहारिणीं सर्वश्रेयस्करीं सीतां नतोऽहं रामवल्लभाम् यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलम् ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलम् रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवाम् बोधे स्थितिर्षावताम् वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरम् रामाख्यमीशं हरिं नानापुराणनिगमागमसम्मतं यद् नानापुराणनिगमागमसम्मतं यद् रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यतोऽपि रामायणे निगदितं क्वचिदन्यतोऽपि स्वान्तसुखाय तुलसी रघुनाथ गाथा स्वान्तसुखाय तुलसी रघुनाथ गाथा भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति भाषानिबन्धमतिमञ्जुलमातनोति कितना सुंदर छंद है। वसंत तिलकम इट इज कॉल्ड वसंत तिलकम. Each chanda has their own name. The one just prior to that, the long one is called as Shardula Vikridita. Shardula Vikridita. Yanmaya Vashavarti Vishwam Akhilam Brahmadi Deva Sura. That is very common. You hear it all the time in your Bhagavad Gita and all. You'll see Dhyanam. Shardula Vikridita. The last one is called Vasanta Tilaka. The penultimate one is called Shardula Vikridita. And all the rest before that, all Anushtup that you saw in class. Varnanam arthasanganam rasanam chandasam api mangalanam chakartaro vande vani vinayako vande. I salute. That is first person singular. First person singular. I salute. One day me Tulsidaji say, I salute. Who? Vani Vinayaka. Vani and Vinayaka. Saraswati and Ganesh. What do? They are Kartaro. All the Sanskrit is very simple. Pretty soon you will be able to understand all of that Sanskrit because it's very simple Sanskrit. Don't worry. Either you understand it or you go pagal. One will happen. One will happen out of the two. I know, I didn't understand it. Anyway, they are Kartaro. Kartaro means they are the bestower, the giver, the doer, the manifester, all of that. Kartaro. They make happen. That is actual. To find the exact words in English for these Sanskrit words and all, we'll have to do a little jugglery and all. You can't find exact. Kartaro, you see, when I say in English, I build a house. There's a verb for build. But in Sanskrit or in Hindi and all, banate means they'll make. Like that. So that same sort of thing is here. So, Kartaro means they make happen. They make it happen. What they make happen? They bring it into manifestation like that. What? Mangal, auspiciousness. The both of them. Mangala, auspiciousness. So Mangalanam is 6 case. Ramanam, today you saw only. No? Today you saw that. Ramanam, 6 case plural. So Mangalanam, same thing. They are the bringer of auspiciousness. They are the bestower of auspiciousness. They make auspiciousness rain. Like, not R-A-I-N, R-E-I-G-N, like that. That kind of rain. They make auspiciousness rain. Not only that, Varnanam, see, all of them are given in 6th case, plural, Varnanam, Arthasanganam, Mangalanam, Rasanam, Chandasam. They are the ones who bring together all of these things. Therefore, Tulsidas does salutations to them. And so through him, all these things are coming together. But they are the ones who bestow it, actually, who make it happen. What? Varna means letters, I told you yesterday. So because of Saraswati, she is goddess of speech. Only because of goddess of speech, letters are there. Na? So, letters are there because of goddess of speech. All the sounds. A letter, which we write on the board, is only a physical representation or visual representation of a sound, isn't it? When I say ka or that is a sound. That sound has a visual representation. That is what we call the letter. Right? That comes after. First comes the sound. So Saraswati, being goddess of speech, she is responsible for all sounds. You please pay attention to this. It's a very, very important thing. I feel I will spend 1 week on this verse. Just listen to this. How important sounds are in this universe. Everything in the universe is running by sound. Everything in the universe is transpiring only because of sound. I'll tell you how. The sound may not be within the realm of what, like for example, there are radio waves here now, right? Does anybody see them or hear them? They're not there, but all the radio waves are here. And if you have a tuner, you tune it, you will get. In Trinidad, there's a wonderful name for a radio station. It's called Akashvani. Station also is called like that. They seized that name early days. Anyway, I'll just show you. If you take a stone, a rock, and you drop it on your toe. I say if, you drop it on your toe. Then, when it falls, you go, ouch. Right? But your toes do not go, ouch. Your mouth goes, ouch, isn't it? If you just do a little bit of study to try to figure out how that thing occurs, you'll realize that when the cells in the toe get crushed by the stone, when those cells get crushed, first they cry out to the nerve cells to which they are connected, right? They cry out to the nerve cells. And that nerve cell will cry out to the next nerve cell which is beside it. And it is said, from the little bit of biology which Mr. Ramkilawan taught me, that those nerve cells do not touch. There is a space there. And so the message jumps, the synapse from one to the next. They don't touch actually. So the nerve cells which are connected to the cells which get crushed, they cry out, and the message is transmitted over to the other nerve cell. And that happens for every nerve cell from the toe all the way up to the brain. And then the brain now interprets whatever cry it heard from down there. The brain interprets that and sends a message again through other cells to the vocal cord. And the vocal cord says, ouch. That crying out, that communication, that word, that message from one cell to that is Saraswati. And that is present in every iota of the universe. When the air gets dried, it sends a silent message to the surface layers of the ocean, telling that I am dry, you please evaporate and come on. That is a message. The whole thing is working by a message. One thing, the state changes, and that message is conveyed, the state of the air changes, and it conveys a message to the ocean, and the ocean evaporates. And this whales communicate from North Pole to South Pole. Ocean currents, warm water is communicating all the time with cold water, and there's ocean currents are formed. Warm water is saying, look, I have too much energy here, take some. And the cold water says, yes, I have less energy, I want some of your energy. And the energy gets muted over from one to the, transferred over from one to the next. Like that. And this is causing ocean currents, and the ocean currents are carrying little plant life and this and that and all, and the whole ocean is working all because of this communication which is there across the entire universe. If you stand on the top of this building and I give you a 1-inch PVC pipe on the top there, and there's a bucket of water down below, and I tell you, pull through that 1-inch PVC pipe, you will burst your lungs. Because your lung doesn't have that amount of power to pull that water up from a bucket down below. Straw, if you have, you're okay. That also, with a lot of effort, you will have to do. An oak tree that is 100 feet tall, and if roots go down 50 feet below, it's taking out water from down below and it's taking all the way up there. And that also happens by communication. This cell, one cell, tells the other cell, I have less sap. Please take up, give me some sap. And that cell tells now to the other cell, I have more now, do you want some? And then communication is taking place. There's communication which is there in everything in the universe. See, the distant star sent its light 27 million light years prior and sent that to your eyes, communicated that light to your eyes, and your eyes are seeing it today and saying, oh, there's a star. The eyes send it to the brain, and the brain interpreting, and then the voice saying, oh, there's a star. It's communicating that light to the eyes. Communication is ubiquitous in the universe. That is Saraswati. When you see the first word Tulsidaji, right, Varananam, words, letters, sounds, communication. And that is what he's going to do. He's going to communicate the story of the Lord of the universe to all of us. That is the purpose of this Ramayana, isn't it? He's going to tell this story to all of us. And what he has to use? The same thing that is being used. In fact, you know, all of you have studied the 24 gurus in your Balvihar classes, and all you have studied 24 gurus. That the whole world is teaching us. We are just not listening. The whole world is teaching, communicating to us, speaking loudly to us. But we are so deaf. Completely deaf. People are completely deaf to everything I tell you. This body, we are putting Coca-Cola and burger and fast food and pizza and all sorts of red meat and this and that. We are putting, and the body is crying out and it's telling, don't do this, and nobody. We listen only to the tongue. The tongue says, I want. So communication is going on. The body is speaking to us all the time. But nobody listens. The body is speaking, but nobody listens. But anyway, that speech, that communication of all things in the universe, that thing is Saraswati. So don't just think Saraswati is the goddess sitting there. Ding, 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 ding. No. The rishis have gone through all of this and thought very nicely. It's Varananam. She is all the sounds and communication and speech that is manifest in the universe, that is Saraswati. Yeah? And that is ubiquitous everywhere. And how many languages? So now with these letters and sounds and words, which is given by Saraswati there, then Arthanam, Varananam, Arthasanganam, Arthasanga. Arthasanga means along with meaning, because sounds also have meaning. Sounds, and of course you can make any audible sound that is meaningless. You can say, like that also. Gifu. But what is Gifu? Nobody knows what is Gifu. It's meaningless thing, isn't it? Who has given meaning to certain sounds? Again, Saraswati. Certain sounds acquire meaning only because of So that's what he means to say. So this not just sounds and letters and words, but they have also meaning. So bringing together all of them. Them rasana. Those of you who have done Bharatnatyam, in Bharatnatyam they teach this rasa, na? 8 rasas are there. Some people accept 8 rasas, some people accept 9 rasas, some people accept 12 rasas. So they are up to about 12. So what is rasa? Rasa is I think English, last night we were trying to find some English word for that. Na? Some feeling, some sentiment like that. Rasa. So rasana. So Tulsidas has employed 9 types of rasas in this Ramayana. Sant Mahatma Lok say he has employed 9 types of rasa. So now I'll have to tell you those rasas. One is called a Shringara rasa. That is very, very well known. Shringara rasa. The sentiment of love. Shringar. Then one is called as Bibhatsya. Bibhatsya. Bibhatsya means disgust. That is also one rasa. Then one is called as Bhayanak. Terror instilling. Bhayanak. Fear instilling. Like that. Like, for example, Bhagavan had taken a vow that I will not go to anybody's house. So after they removed Bali, Sugriv had made a promise he'll help Rama to find Sita ji. So Sugriv went to that palace. He was crowned as king and this and that. And he started enjoying palace life. Eating, drinking, being merry, this, that. He forgot that he had promised Ram that he'll help him find this Sita ji. So Rama told, now I can't go there because I promised I'll not go to anybody's house. So he told Lakshmana, he said, go there. Don't do anything to him. He knows Lakshmana's temperament, Don't do anything to him. Go there and just frighten him, scare him, scare the living daylights out of him. And really, Sugriv only heard Lakshmana was coming. Oh, Bapre. That is called a Bhayanak ras. Tulsidas employs that also. And Rama is instructing Lakshmana, you go there and scare him. Bhayanak ras. Raudra. Raudra ras is one is there called. Raudra means anger. Anger. Like Lakshmana is all the time exhibiting this Raudra ras. Anger. Then one called as Shanta ras. Shanta. Shanta means peace. In Bhakti Marg, there are 3 other rasa, I told. In Bhakti Marg, there is Sakhya ras, there is Dasya rasa, and then Sakhyam. Sakhya means friend. Friendship ras. How you call that? Sentiment of friendship. Then there is Dasya, the sentiment of servant, yeah. How you'll call that? In English? Servitude, yes. The sentiment of servitude. Dasya. Then there is Vatsalya, which is very important also. Vatsalya. So this is Bhakti Marg. But the Ramayana utilizes, but saints and sages say Tulsidas ji doesn't really utilize them. So, he utilizes those 9. Now how many I gave you? 5. So one is called Hasya Ras. Hasya means humor. Tulsidas ji is also very funny. Some parts of Ramayana, very, very funny actually. Hasya. Another they call it Karuna Ras. Karuna Ras. Karuna means compassion. How Bhagavan has compassion for Shabari, for Kevat, the boatman, like that. Then one is called as Virya Ras. Veer Ras or Virya Ras. Veer. Veer means what? Heroic Ras. Heroic. Like Lakshmana also. Lakshmana doesn't like any type of. He tells Bhagavan, why are you going to pray to this ocean? What type of hero prays to an ocean? You know? Take out your bow, an arrow, and dry up this ocean in one. Like that. So Virya Ras, like that. The heroic type of Ras. Of course, Rama exhibits that very much. Hanumanji, the hero who goes to Lanka and burns down the whole of Lanka. So now tell me all what I have given. That last one will be Adbhut. Adbhut Ras. Adbhut means wonder and amazement. Wonder and amazement. No, in Ramayana it's full of this everywhere. There's wonder and amazement all the time throughout the whole Ramayana. So Tulsidas utilizes. So when he says rasanam chandasam api, rasanam means all the rasas have been engaged or employed, and the rasa is given by. Now see, we also cannot say, because he says kartaro, the giver or the bestower, the one who makes happen, is both Saraswati and Ganesh. Well, more of them is attributed to Saraswati. More of them is attributed to Saraswati, and the Mangala is attributed to Lord Ganesh. Mangala means auspiciousness. But these rasas and all of them, because you know, the rasa is always coming through words. You know that. Look here. When people are angry, you hear it in their words or not? Huh? When people are scared, you hear it in their words, of course, in their look. That also look is a communication. It's communicating something to all of us. So the communicative aspect is what conveys all the rasas, like that. But the Mangala is bestowed by Lord Ganesh. And Chandasam api, Tulsidas says, I have also employed now this chandas. Now this chanda I told you just now, this is a very, very involved thing in Hinduism. Now I'll just tell you this one verse. And when we get to the other type, I'll tell you there also. Now there are 5 of them in this same chanda. That's called Anushtup chanda. Now here are the rules of Anushtup chanda. Pay attention to the rules of Anushtup. Might as well tell now, because you'll have to do it in any case somewhere down the line. I already gave you some introduction to that in Sanskrit class, right? Each pada, there are 4 padas of course in every verse, right? Each pada has how many syllables? 8 syllables. Each pada will have 8 syllables, and I'll show you now. The 6th syllable in every pada, 6th syllable. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th syllable, sorry. the fifth syllable, which will be, now you look at your book, look at the book, Varnanam Artha Sanghanam. That tha is number 5, isn't it? That has always to be short. In each pada, in Anushtup chanda, that fifth syllable will always be short. Is it short there? Artha, tha is short, na? And if you see the next pada, rasanam chandasamapi, the rasanam chanda, the is also short, right? If you go to the next pada, mangalanam cha is also short. Vande vani vi is short. So the first rule of Anushtup chanda is, and see how Bhagwan Shri Krishna in Gita, here Tulsidaji in Ramayana, and whole Bhagavatam, everywhere is Anushtup chanda, and these rules are all. You have to find the word which meaning you want to convey, and make sure that the fifth syllable of that word is short. And the rule is not over yet. So 4 padas, every one of them, fifth syllable has to be short. First rule. Now, second rule. The sixth syllable, which is the one right after that, that has to be long. Bapre. Now you have to find out word to convey your meaning and your story, in which the fifth syllable is short and the sixth syllable is long, in every pada. Then the first and the third pada, first and third pada. Now it's first and third, you skip out second. The seventh or penultimate syllable has to be short. Sorry, I'm long. First and third pada. The seventh syllable, which is the penultimate syllable, has to be long. Now see if he has found, if he has done it. Varnanam artha, this is first pada, right? Varnanam artha sangha. That is 7 syllable. Long. Gha. And you jump to the third pada. Mangalanam chakar ta rau. Ta is long. Why is it long? Huh? Long vowel, like a. So this is first and third. Now you go to second and fourth. That exact same syllable has to be short now. In those 2 padas, in second and fourth, when the even numbers, that 7th syllable has to be short. See, now, this is the simplest, this Anushtup chanda is the simplest chanda in Sanskrit, and therefore the most common. Imagine. And this poet has to stick to these rules for, in case of Bhagavad Puran, thousands of verses. Get all that meaning and get everything. So when Tulsidaji writes there, Chandasamapi, he means also with chandas, means I have stuck to the chandas perfectly, properly throughout this Ramayana. And that is only because of the blessing of Saraswati. Like, therefore I do salutations to Saraswati. Now, this is a very involved science actually. Don't mess with Hindu poets. Huh? I'm telling, really. They are not ordinary human beings. By no means. Mangalanam Chakartaro, these two who bestow Mangala also, I do salutations to both of them. Then, Bhavani Shankaro Vande. Vande again, I do salutations to Bhavani Shankaro. You see, come here, Balo, today I told you Ramo. Dual? Kartaro. Only 2 days of Sanskrit you learnt. And you'll be able to recognize, see that? Vande Vani Vinayako, like Ramo, dual case, remember that middle? Dual number. Everything in dual will always, it is simple, easy to recognize. So, Bhavani Shankaro, I do salutations to Bhavani and Shankar, who are Shraddha Vishwas. Last night I explained that to you. Shraddha and Vishwas. Yabhyam vina na pashyanti. Without whom the saints and sages can never see. Na pashyanti, what? They will never see Ishwaram. Ishwaram is the last word. Ishwaram. Who is where? Swa-anta. In their own heart. We will never see Ishwara. Look here. Saints and sages will not see. How we'll see? Saints and sages, they cannot see this Ishvara who is in their own heart. And Swantastham. Swantastham means lodged in their own heart. They can't see Napashyanti without this Bhavani and Shankar. And last night, so because Bhavani and Shankar are Shraddha and Vishwas. Vishwas, which you believe in after having seen. You have confidence. That is the idea. Confidence, Vishwas, in that thing. And Shraddha you have not seen. Like when all of you came to this course, you did not know what was here. You did not know what you were going to encounter here. Tremendous Shraddha. I praise all of you. So, you have to have both of them. There has to be a marriage of both of them. Then Rama will take birth, and we'll see that in Balkand. We're setting the stage for that Balkand. This happens. Shiva Parvati gets married first, even though this is not about Shiva Parvati, this is Ramayana. So, big wedding is there first. So, if this Shraddha Vishwas doesn't come together in our heart first, Ram will not take birth. It means Ishvara will not manifest. That is the idea. Yabhyam vina na pashyanti. Vande bodhamayam nityam gurum shankar rupinam. The next line is, Vande, again I do salutations. To who? Guru. I do salutations to the Guru. So see there, Ganesh, Saraswati and all? Guru. In between Lord Shiva comes. Shiva Parvati. I must tell you, in northern India, Ayodhya and different places, they have different traditions and all that kind of thing. But last night I told you why Shiva Parvati is inserted inside there. Because Lord Shiva himself, you see, it is as though when Tulsidas started off, as though he's telling that I am the composer of this Ramayana after doing salutations to Saraswati and Ganesh and getting their blessings, and I'm going to compose. It's not like that. He quickly puts in the very second verse itself, Bhavani Shankar, so that he will remember and make everybody remember. The original composer of this Ramayana is Lord Shiva, who told it to Bhavani after. So immediately that comes there. So that otherwise, you know, human beings are very good at taking credit for any. One teacher is telling that mother is telling that boy, you are very irresponsible boy. That mother said, that boy said, that is not true. In school, my teacher tells me I am very responsible. Anything that goes wrong in school, I am responsible for that. Now look here. When anything goes wrong, people don't want to take responsibility. They don't want to take responsibility or blame for that. But if anything goes right, quickly we say, even if you did not do it, you will put in your 2 cents worth to tell what contribution you made for the success of that thing. You may not have been the one responsible, but you will say, yes, when he was doing it, I helped him, like that. We like to take credit. So Tulsidaji quickly, Bhavani Shankaro Vande Shraddha Vishwasa Rupino. He does salutations to that Lord Shiva. Now see one more reason why he does salutations to Lord Shiva there. But Tulsidaji has come to see Ram only because Lord Shiva has written about the glories of Ram, which Tulsidaji studied. Means if Lord Shiva had not written about the glories of Ram, there would have been nothing for him to study. And if he had not studied that Ramayana, then he would not have seen Ram. That's why Vinana Pashyanti. Without that Lord Shiva, Parvati, we cannot see that Ishvara. That is the idea. He is convinced about that. Without Bhagwan Shankar, we cannot see this. You know why? If from every point of view, if you look at that, without Bhagwan Shankar, you cannot get darshan of Ishvara, because we have to kill the ego, and he is the Lord of the remover of the ego. Means he's the one, we say, he dissolves things, isn't it? That ego has to dissolve. If you look from Vedanta standpoint, the ego has to dissolve. If the ego doesn't dissolve, we cannot see Ishvara. Na pashyanti. Cannot be seen. So, the Lord who is responsible for dissolution is Shiva also. And he realizes it was because of this Lord Shiva and his giving of Ram Katha or Ram Charita. Rachi Mahesh, I told you last night. Nija Manasa Rakha, Tulsidaji, right? Mahesh composed this whole Ramayana and kept it in his heart and then told it to Parvati ji later on. So, because Lord Shiva composed this, Tulsidaji got it and he was able to get darshan of Ram. And so therefore, from his own experience, he is telling, without this Shiva Parvati, no darshan of Ram. Again, in the beginning itself, he sets out to bring this amalgamation between Vaishnavites and Shaivites. You see? Even though Rama is his Ishta Devata, in the beginning he's saying, without Shiva Parvati, no darshan of Ishvara. So it starts his text like that, as though, after doing salutation to Bhavani, to Vani and Vinayaka. Okay, so now this third verse, Vande again, all the verses perhaps, Vande, 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 I do salutations. To who? Gurum. Now he says this Guru also is Shankar. Our Guru is Shankar incarnate. Shankar Rupinam, Gurum. The Guru is Shankar, you know, in Gita Dhyanam, we chant where Bhagwan Shri Krishna is called as Jagat Guru, isn't it? In Gita Dhyanam you would have heard that Jagat Guru. In the both traditions, you see there, that Vaishnava tradition, because Lord Krishna is incarnation of Vishnu. Here, this is Shiva. So both Vishnu Bhagwan and his incarnation and Lord Shiva and his incarnation, both are Guru only, depending on which tradition you belong to. Look, whether it is Shaiva or Vaishnava, both are Ishvara only, isn't it? People at the lower level who don't understand things, they fight. If they understand Vishnu and Shiva both are Ishvara, all fighting will stop. So it's the same Ishvara who takes both the forms, and Brahmaji also. 3 forms. And both of them are teachers. What an amazing thing. Brahmaji is the one from whom the Vedas emanate. But he just brings out the Veda, he doesn't teach. Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu, they are the one who teach. So Bhagavan Vishnu came as Krishna, gave Gita. Then Bhagavan Shankar came as Shankaracharya and explained Gita. Like that. Two teachers. Bhagavan Vishnu, but here in Tulsidas Ji's Ramcharitamanas, the Guru is Lord Shiva himself. So, Vande Gurum Shankar Rupinam. And he is Bodhamayam Nityam. Nityam Bodhamayam. Nityam Bodhamayam Gurum. What does it mean? He is eternally the embodiment of pure knowledge. The Guru is eternally the embodiment of pure knowledge. The Guru's knowledge goes with him from life to life. Yes, today we were seeing, now we are reading our Swami Tapovanji Maharaj's Ishvara Darshan, isn't it? There we see how from childhood itself, from early stages in his life, he is not attached to anything in this world, totally detached. Where it all came from? All from previous life. So the Guru is Nityam Bodhamayam, eternally the very embodiment of knowledge. I do salutations to that Guru who is Lord Shiva himself, incarnate, who Vande Yama Shrito Hivakropi Chandra Sarvatra Vandyate. There is a play on words. That Guru, being like Shankar himself, is infinitely compassionate also. Infinitely compassionate. So much so that Yam Ashritaha Hi Vakraha Api, even if somebody who is crooked, Vakra means crooked, somebody who is crooked also, they take refuge in that Guru, or they take refuge in Lord Shiva, they will be saved. Even if that be a crooked person. Vakra means, crooked is English word properly, no? English. What is the other word for crooked? Anything, wicked, crooked, evil, whatever, like that. And the example which is given here, Chandra, Sarvatra Vandyate. Not only that, see this Chandra, this moon, he is on Lord Shiva's head like this. He crooked, means not straight. And even though being crooked, because of his association with Lord Shiva, everybody worship moon. If he is on the forehead of Lord Shiva, then he has to be worshipable. That is the idea. So, Chandraha Vakraha Api. Even though this Chandra is Vakra, crooked like this, bent, he becomes Vandyate, he becomes worshipable. Vandyate means worshipable. The idea is, anybody in this world, no matter how evil, wicked, crooked, this, that, takes refuge in the Guru, takes refuge in that Guru. For him, that Guru should be everything. That is the idea. That person becomes worshipable. And that is because the Guru's compassion. The Guru will give refuge to them. He said, Bhagwan, because of his law of karma, is karma phala data, he'll send us to Narak, He's karma phala data, and because of his law, he holds the law steadfastly. He doesn't let the law go. So that law will take us to Narak. But the Guru will also pull us out from Narak. The tradition has strong place, a very elevated place for Guru. It will come again. So that Guru is incarnation of Lord Shiva himself. Lord Shiva and Guru, they are one. That is the idea. Sita Rama Gunagrama Punyaranya Viharinau Vande Vishuddha Vijnanau Kavishwara Kapishwarau. I do again Vande to who? Kavishwara Kapishwarau. These are the words. I do salutations to. Who is Kavishwara? Kavishwara. Kavishwara is Valmiki ji. I do salutations to Valmiki ji, Kavishwara. And Kapishwara. Who is Kapishwara now? Hanuman ji. So he does salutations to Valmiki ji and to Hanuman ji. The first two padas described is Valmiki ji and Hanuman ji. How it describes them? They are Punyaranya Viharino. Both of them, they're Punyaranya Viharino means they are sporting in the forest of all meritorious things, good things. They are sporting in the forest of all good things, of all great things. What great things? Sita Rama Gunagrama. All the great traits and qualities and characteristics and all such things of Sita and Ram. So now you have to visualize this. Rama is compassion, love, and all the great qualities which you know, right? That is Sita Ram, both of them. That is like a whole forest of great qualities. And Hanumanji and Valmiki, they are reveling in this forest all the time. That is the idea. A forest of great qualities of Sita and Ram. And Valmiki, Hanumanji. In other words, Valmiki, Hanumanji, they are thinking of nothing else besides Sita and Ram and all their great qualities. That is the idea. So I do salutations to both of them. They are also Vishuddha Vijnano. Vishuddha Vijnano. They both are of pure knowledge. Hanumanji knows everything about Sita Ram, and Valmiki ji also knows everything about Sita Ram. Now, Tulsidas ji was incarnation of Valmiki ji, isn't it? And we told last night, no? The story goes that Tulsidas ji is himself an incarnation of Valmiki ji. So what Tulsidas ji is remembering his past incarnation. That past incarnation which is Valmiki ji. And he's doing salutation to that past incarnation also. What a thing. What he did there? He sat there saying Mara, 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 Mara. Remember? Could not say Rama. Mara, 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 Mara. Mara means to kill. Killing, because his profession was to kill. He was a highway bandit. And killing people and all. So he sat saying Mara, 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 Mara. But if you say Mara, Mara fast enough, it will become Rama. Mara, 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 Rama, 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 Rama. It turns into Rama. So, Tulsidas ji remembers his past and how he only reveled in Rama. Salutation to that Valmiki ji, who only reveled in Ram. Salutation to Hanuman ji, who only revels in Ram. And Hanuman ji is incarnation of Lord Shiva only. Just now he did salutations to Lord Shiva. But now he's doing salutations to the incarnation of Lord Shiva. Because what? Both of them, he respects in both of them their love for Ram. Valmiki ji and Hanuman ji, their love for Ram. So salutations. Vande Vishuddha Vijnana, pure knowledge. Then next, Natoham. Instead of saying Vande, he says Natoham. Natoham means Vande, same thing. Nataha aham. I do salutations. Nataha aham. To whom? Sita. This is called Anvaya in Sanskrit. Anvaya means what? I told you in Sanskrit language, the words do not have any order. The words are thrown anywhere in those lines. So Anvaya means to be able to extract the words and put them in a order to make a sentence. So whenever you encounter a verse, first you have to do the Anvaya. Extract subject, object and verb and make a sentence. And then after doing that, all the other things will fit around. So the Anvaya is Sitam Natoham, or Natoham Sitam. I do salutations to Sita. That is the next. That is the verse number 5 it will be, right? I do salutations to Sita. Now let me tell you something. In a class like this also, it is impossible to tell all things about Ramayana, you know, because this Ramayana had no end. I have been telling so many things about these verses and Tulsidaji's composition and this and that. But there are things, for instance, yesterday I mentioned there are 7 verses here and there are 7 chandas in this Ramayana also. So some verses, 1 verse for each chanda. So now there is some homework you can do. So that first verse, you see how that verse is related to Bal Kanda. Second verse, how is that related to Ayodhya Kanda? This will be for your homework and your personal study and reflection and that kind of thing, you see. Acharya Padam Adate. It says from the Acharya, you will only get quarter. Quarter. Then where the other 3/4 will come from? 3/4 will come from where? Acharya Padam Adate means quarter will come from the Acharya. Padam Swamedhaya. Quarter will come from your reflection, your own reflection and research and this and that. Quarter will come. Padam Swabrahmacharyebhyaha. Swabrahmacharyebhyaha. Quarter will come from you discussing with all your classmates and people who you know, you talk about this Ramayana, what do you think about this? What have you given thought to this? You discuss. Another quarter will come. And last quarter will come from where? Padam Kala Kramenacha. 1/4 will come only by time. You have to wait. It will dawn on you. You can't do anything. So now how many things I will tell? You also have to do your own quarter only. You will have to do your own. Now see here, this is verse number 5. And verse number 5 will be tied to Sundarakanda. Sundarakanda is where Sita ji is suffering in Lanka. Isn't it? When Sita ji is in Ashok Vatika, Hanuman ji goes to meet her, then he sees her suffering. Because before that they don't know where she is. She is found in Sundarakanda, and there she is in dire state of sorrow. Deep sorrow. Tulsidaji puts verse number 5 here, which will be related to Sundarakand. He does salutations to Sita ji. Like that, there's some tie will be there. So I'm just going to give you some hint like that. You go and think now. I can think of a few things right away. But why should I think for you? You have to do your own thinking. So anyway, now he describes this Sita ji. He says, the rest of the verse will be description of Sita ji. She is Rama Vallabha. Rama Vallabha. Rama Vallabha means the beloved of Rama. She is Udbhava Sthiti Samhara Karini. Those words go together. Udbhava Sthiti Samhara Karini. She is the one who is responsible for Udbhava, means the manifestation of the universe, Sthiti, the preservation of the universe, and Samhara, dissolution of the universe. Start using those words. Stop using the British words forced on us, unwittingly and unsuspectingly forced on us by the British creator, preserver and destroyer Those words are so wrong. The manifester, sustainer, and dissolver. Those words, they mean different things. We will get them again later on. So, salutations to the Sita ji, who is the one because of whom. It means to say what? Sita ji represents the Shakti, the power, the energy of Bhagwan. And without that energy, without Bhagwan's energy, Bhagwan is nothing. What he'll do? Without energy? Kuch nahi kar sakte. You cannot do anything without that. Look here. If I am here, right? This body, no energy. Then what do you call it? Shava. It's dead body, isn't it? This body with all energy gone, would you call it dead? Then God will be dead. So it is with that intrinsic, innate Shakti, who is Sitaji, the whole world comes into manifestation, is sustained, and it also dissolves, and again comes into manifestation. Avyakto, Vyaktaya, Avyakto Vyaktaya Sampanna, Bhagavan tells. We'll see that in chapter 9 when we get there. So, the world is constantly in a state, in this process of manifesting, staying for a while, demanifesting. Manifesting, staying for a while, demanifesting. Like that. That is the world. But that is afforded, or that happens by the Shakti of Bhagavan, who is Sita. So she's got Sita Rama, Udbhava Sthiti Samhara Karinim. This is feminine adjective to Sita. Karini. She is Klesha Harinim. Klesha Harinim. She describes her. She's the remover of all our klesha. Klesha means afflictions. Afflictions. It is as though anything Bhagavan has to do, that has to be done via his Shakti. You see? So therefore the Shakti rarely becomes the remover of the afflictions. And our greatest affliction is, say, oh, you have heard, Pancha Klesha are there, na? 5 kleshas there we have. 5 afflictions. What are these 5 afflictions? They call us avidya. Avidya means ignorance. Asmita. Asmita means egoism. Egoism. The old word is, in the old days, used to be egotism. That word is now cast off. Now we say egoism. Out of ego only we did that. Cast it down. Egoism. Avidya, asmita. Then ragadvesha. Raga means likes. Likes and attractions. I am attracted to this. I like this. And the opposite of that is dvesh, dislikes, aversion, like that. And the last one is called as abhinivesh. Raga, dvesha, abhinivesh. Abhinivesh. Abhinivesh means fear of death. The other way to see that is attachment to this body. Nobody wants to give up. Let me tell you something. Everybody wants moksha, but they don't want to give up the body. You'll get, I mean, people want to go to Swarga, but they want to go in their own body. Attached to body, attached to family, property, this, that. They want to go to Swarga, but take their limousine. You'll go. I want to go in this body, like Trishanku Maharaj. No. So we have these 5 kleshas, 5 afflictions. So it says, she is Klesha Harini, she is called. Sitaji is Klesha Harini, the one who removes these afflictions. How is that? How are they afflictions? Avidya? And ego? Ignorance, and that you can see. What about likes? Like is an affliction, na? See, you have to do thinking on this. Just, oh, she said, what is the 5 afflictions? This is bus. You have to also think how is avidya an affliction? Ignorance is an affliction? Well, yes, it is because of ignorance people do all wrong things, isn't it? And those wrong things lead to sorrow. So I get pain. Deep anguish, all because of ignorance only. Ignorance is the root of all the rest of really. At a more superficial level, there is egoism. If there's a lot of ego, and that fellow tells me, hey, you fool. And my ego is very strong. That will pain me like anything, isn't it? He called me a fool. And one man was telling another one, are you trying to make a fool out of me? That other fellow said, no, I don't mess with Nitya. Leave that right there. So, that fellow called me a fool. If ego is strong, that will pain. If ego is not strong, I will tell, hey, only today you discover I am a fool. Then when that fellow hears, he will get angry. With that insult will go back to him. But if ego is strong, we can't do that. If ego has become thinned out, weakened, I must be really, if you call that, I must really be a fool. Like that. So, ego becomes the source of affliction also, if it is strong. Then raga, or likes and cravings. Raga, likes and cravings like that. Huh? That is what has man going to Mars. He doesn't know what is there in his backyard. But he's going to Mars and all. Raga, craving, longing, and likes, and attractions, and this and that, on, and there's no end to that. So he exchanges his life to obtain the objects of his likes. He exchanges life for likes. What a terrible state to be in. That's an amazing thing. Animals enjoy better than human being because in his pursuit of his objects of likes, this fella never have time to enjoy anything. That's why everybody look forward to this weekend. And this TGIF. Thank God it's right. He's looking for, and then that thing comes and goes like that. Oh, GIM. Oh God, it's Monday. He doesn't know where the weekend went. He's worried also that it will go away fast. So even while the weekend is there, he can't enjoy it properly because he's worried it will go away so fast. So anyway, this raga and now dvesha, the next one. Well, of course, that's clear to you how that is all affliction only. And you know, whatever you have dvesh, dislike for, that is only what comes. What a wonderful world. If you don't want to see that Swami, when you go to that bank, Swami is opening the door for you to come in. He is the one who is there. Whatever you don't like, nobody likes their hair to become grey. Or nobody likes their hair to fall out. Hair today, gone tomorrow. People don't like. But that also. And no matter how many hair-raising stories you tell him, nothing comes back. The hair never rises there from there. So, what we don't like, dislike, only that thing seems to come, you see. So that's source of affliction. And that last one, abhinivesh. Oh, fear of death, great affliction. All right, so this pancha klesha, this word is coming, so I told you that. Now I don't have to tell you again, see, job finished. Pancha klesha, because it will come. Klesha. Klesha harini. Klesha will come in 12th chapter of Gita and all. When we get to 12th chapter, don't say I didn't tell you. Keep it in mind. Okay. So, I do salutations to the Sita ji, who is Rama Vallabham, Sarvashreyaskari. Sarvashreyaskari means she who bestows all goodness, all greatness, all wonderful things. She is the one who bestows all of this. The greatest thing for us is moksha. Shreya. Shreyaskarim. She gives greatness, goodness, the best. Then, Chinmaya Vashavarti Vishwamakilam. I told you that now is different meter. That is called Shardula Vikridita. Shardula Vikridita. That is connected to Lanka Kand. Lanka Kand is very fight is going on, war, battle is going on in Lanka Kand. And this verse is pure Vedanta. Pure Vedanta of the Upanishad. This verse. How is that connected to war? That we'll see tomorrow. Huh? How this Vedanta verse is connected to battle and fighting and all so much of killing going on in Lanka Kand. All right.